Afternoon.
I am good, Miss Ballard. How are you doing today? It's Friday.
Woo, fry. Yay. I'm doing good. Oh man. How has your week been?
It's been pretty busy. We are doing pullouts right now, getting ready for STAR. So I've been working with the non-retesters.
Okay, okay.
So it's been pretty
So,
busy.
okay. So my question is going to focus about weeding materials.
Okay.
Um, so the first question I have to ask you is how do you weed materials? I know you're at the high school, so how does your process go?
Okay, so weeding is basically, and you already know this, but I'm gonna just cover it real quick. It's basically the deselection of library materials, not just books, but anything that you have in your library can be deselected and removed, and it can be removed for various reasons. I prefer to do a more, and I don't know if there's a formal term for it. I know some people like to run a report and go through there and see how many times the book has been or item has been used. I like to just kind of read the shelves and walk through and see what looks bad, excuse me, what's damaged. I prefer to weed along as I go along. If someone brings a book back in and something's wrong with it and I notice it, oh, this looks really old or this stinks or this has mold on it, I weed it then. So I prefer to do that on an ongoing basis, but I will, if I realize that my shelves are starting to look really packed tight, I will go ahead and
Mhm.
run a report for that particular section, usually for nonfiction. Just run a report for that section to see what's not getting any movement. Um,
Okay.
and tell me if I am talking too much, because I know
Oh,
you
no,
asked that
no.
one question.
Because
So,
it's
and I'm
rolling, because it's going to roll into my next question about if you have a specific method.
Yes. Okay. So I just dropped something in the chat for you. It's a lib guide about collection development and maintenance, primarily focusing on weeding. There are two things, and you probably will learn this in library school when you're weeding. The old acronym was MUSTY that you look at.
Let's see. Ah,
Musty. And it's in the lib guide. They'll cover it in there. But musty means you look at the item, whatever it is. Say, for instance, if I'm evaluating this book, and musty is it misleading? Is it ugly? Has it been superseded? Is it trivial, irrelevant, or elsewhere? So
okay.
you use all of those words and apply it to whatever the item is. And if it matches any of those criteria, you don't need to keep it. Now, again, musty is one that was, I don't want to say oh, it is older. Right now, I believe everybody focuses more on the crew weeding manual.
Yep,
Um,
that's what we learned about.
the crew manual, yes. So that's the one more I can't even talk right now. That's the one that's more widely used, the
Okay.
crew manual. Hmm.
Okay. Do you have like a specific written policy about reading? If you do, what are those policies? Is it like is it what the district, the basics of basic uh um policies of the district? Or yeah, if you could tell me about that.
Yes, so Dallas ISD has a weeding policy, and it's on, if you log in to the spot where it says for librarians, you have to be logged in already to see it. But it talks about how we, because some of the libraries, and you probably have seen it since you've been here, just going around, some of the schools are really, really, really old, and they will have
This
yeah, some of the old schools have old resources in them, and some of the old schools have been updated. It really just depends on I guess who the librarians are that have been in there and what they've done with their collections. But there's a pretty comprehensive collection development plan on our website, and it covers weeding. And it talks about crew, and I believe at one
mm-hmm.
point in time they had given us all. It may have been last year or the year before, they gave us all a crew manual. So if you want to borrow mine, I will look for it and find it and you can borrow it from me. But and it probably talks about musty in there too, but there is one. And I think most of the larger districts have a a a policy like that. When I worked in Cedar Hill, which is a lot smaller than Dallas, we did not
Mm-hmm.
have a weeding policy. It was pretty much you learned how to do this in school, use your best judgment. use what you were taught when you're weeding.
Okay. Now, I know we have to weed. Have there ever been a time when you've had a book and you looked at it and was like, oh, this book is so popular. I'm not sure if I want to weed it. Maybe I could kind of put some tape on it or something.
Yeah, definitely. Of course. There's been times like that, but you don't want to give somebody a book that's falling apart because then what if chapter 2 falls out and that's really crucial to setting up the plot of the story and you can't read chapter 2, so you don't know who this person is that they introduced. Um,
That's
so I
true.
have thought about that before, and I guess when I was a newer librarian, I would try to save all the books. I had a
That's
box
me.
that
Okay.
I had a box and I put Book Hospital on my box and I would
Oh,
just throw books in there as they came back if something was wrong with them. And I would sit there in the back in my workroom whenever we had work days and I didn't have to go do stuff with the teachers. I could just sit and focus and I would do my book repair. But as I got more experience in the library game and I've gotten less time to do things like that because it takes time to fix. I mean, if it's like an in-depth repair, it takes time to do it. If it's something quick, like some gum on the cover, I can get that off real quick and wipe it up. But if it's like I got to
right.
put a chapter back in the book, it can be done, but it takes a lot of time. So yeah, and that's with books, but I don't know if you
Mhm.
have ran across it, but I have 2 shelves full of DVDs. And I have held on to them because it's stuff like this that we read. We read The Lord of the Flies, and they can't always get a digital copy of it. But since we went to the new computers and new laptops, there's not a CD drive on them. So
That's
I'm
my
about to
next
read all of these.
that was gonna be my next question because I was just hoping you did not say, "Oh, these are a keeper. You keep these. These are
Mm-mm,
treasure." But the end of the year, um, I was like, I'm getting rid of all of these DVDs because remind you, my school library hasn't been open in 4 years. Plus, me being here, they never checked out the DVDs. So I'm sure they didn't check them out prior neither.
mhm.
So I did. I removed them all from my shelves and I
Worked
weeded
all
them.
I had more, so I only kept the ones that are directly tied to stories and books that we read, or stuff that's about like a holiday that I know that they may want to pop in. Because I weeded all of
Mhm.
them here probably about 5 years ago. I weeded all of them except for these, but it's time for these to go too. So I'm gonna let the art teach if anybody wants to have them for art projects or anything like that. I'm gonna put out an email
Okay.
first, and then some teachers have a DVD player at home. So I'll send out an email first to
Um,
see if they want them, and then the rest of them I'm gonna put in a box and send them over to
I guess
the
I should have
graveyard.
asked you that because I didn't even think to, I thought like if you don't you weed it and you get it out of the library. That's what they
Mhm.
was like instructing us to do. Box them up and send them back to, send them back to them and they'll do something with it
They will, but
off
it
of
just
Hervey.
depends. It depends on what
Mhm.
it is. There's some things that if I see something that can have some value, especially with like the art department, because they do these, is it called deconstructed books or art books or something, where they take a book and they'll do stuff to it and make it into art. They do things like that sometimes. And then there's the ones like if I had encyclopedias, because when I first got here, there was like several sets of encyclopedias that I immediately got rid of, but they use
Mhm.
those for the pictures. And when they are doing like if we don't have access to magazines, they want to do vision boards or something like that.
Okay.
They may want those pictures. So I always ask first if it's something like that. If it's other things like just a book that no one's ever heard of, I just drop it right on in the box.
Okay. I have another question. Um, do you include like, is there like a leadership team? Do you include anyone from the campus, other teachers, before weeding certain subject areas?
If you mean by include, do I ask them if they want the books? Sometimes I will ask them depending on what the book is. Do I ask them to help me make a decision as to whether or not I'm gonna
Yeah,
read it?
make a decision.
No, because I don't feel like they would know. They don't know about the crew method. They don't know
Okay,
about
that's true.
Musty. They don't know a lot of them. They get some people, a lot of librarians, the hoarder librarians, and you have met some of them, and you probably just don't know it. But hoarder librarians get attached to all the books. It's like they're all their children. They don't want to let the books go. They don't want to throw them in a trash can. That's sacrilegious. They don't want to get rid of them. But I don't want to open myself up to that. And I'm supposed to be the expert on campus. They don't ask me about how they should teach the World War II or something like that. So
That's
I don't
true.
ask them about how to do my job. If I had a question like that, I would ask somebody from library services. If I was confused, I would ask an older librarian, but I wouldn't ask somebody here on campus. And they don't even know about weeding. So if I ask them about it, like, because I had written it on a box one time when I had like a ton I was weed.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew to get rid of them. They're like, you shouldn't have this on the box because it makes people think that you have drugs in it. So no, I don't want to open myself up to all of that. I don't ask them anything.
Another question, what library management system tools help you with weeding? Like I know some people use Tidal Wave to see, like run reports.
Mhm.
What is your system? How do you do yours?
We did use, I think, Tidal Wave at our very beginning of the year PLC to run a report just to see how balanced our collections were and to see the age of our collection. And that
Mhm.
was good. But I found that that doesn't work as well if I don't purchase from Wendell as much from Paulette. I
Oh, yeah.
provide more I purchase mostly from Yolanda at Libraria and Twan at Mackin. So
Okay.
they do similar things. Mackin has a very similar report. So I've run that before. But I don't do it as often to see how old it is because I tried, like I said, I try to read like every time I'm touching my books. I try to look through it and see. So I see if something is old and I need to get rid of it for the most part. And a lot of times if it's still up there, it's because I just haven't had
Mhm.
time to go grab it and throw it, or else I need boxes. So
Okay.
yeah, but I use Mackin.
So speaking of grabbing, um, like I know I have a few books here I wanted to show you. Do you have any you have that's close by that you're weeding currently you're about to weed or you've already weeded? That's a great example for me to see.
Yes, I have the DVDs like I showed you before, and I left the book out here. I'm sorry. Let me grab it real quick. Is that okay if I go grab it?
Yes.
It's just right here. Okay. So this one I have. Can you see the Henry Louis Gates
Mm-hmm.
Junior book? And it's a great book. It is a great book, but let me tell you the copyright date. And I just when I'm shelving, I put books on my cart that I shelve from, and I just turn them spine side in, and that way I know I'm getting rid of it. This is from
Oh,
2012, which
okay.
is it's not super old. It's like 13 years old, but it's never been checked out before
Oh,
in
okay.
13 years. So I don't think all of a sudden somebody's gonna come in here tomorrow and say, "Hey, Miss Moore, I really want to read a book about Henry Louis Gates." Plus, it's pretty big and it's
Mm-hmm.
nonfiction, and they'll read a big fiction book, but they don't really go for the big nonfiction books. And it's just not it's just not something that I know that they would get. So plus it takes up a lot of space. So this is one of the ones that I just pulled on my own. And I don't the only when I pull stuff and get rid of it, I usually go in and check and see with some books just to see if it's been checked out recently. And I give myself usually if it's been checked out in the past 2 years. If it's been longer than that, then that puts it on the
Mm-hmm.
chopping block. And see how it's turning the pages are turning colors. I don't know if you could
Yeah.
tell. That's one of the things that you look at with
I
them.
can kind of see it, but
It's
not
yellowing
really
a
that
little bit.
well. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna do a little rapid with you.
Okay.
Um, weed or not weed?
Okay.
Okay.
We playing a game. All right. I
Yeah.
like a library game.
So my students love this book. Let's see if I can take my background. If I can't, I'll just keep it pushing.
That's a
Keep it
graphic novel.
pushing.
I feel like I've
All
seen
right.
that one before. What happened to it? Amulet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one page that came out. Oh
It's come
gosh.
it's disappearing when you put it up. Sometimes
Okay.
somehow it's disappearing. I see that page.
There it is. So it came
Okay.
out of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But the students go crazy over it. It's
They
one
love
of the
that.
one of the hot books that they love. So that's one book. So
Mhm. Weed or not to weed.
yes.
That one would be an easy fix to me with that one page, throwing some glue down there and putting it in there and wrapping it around. So I would keep that one unless I had money in my budget to go ahead and buy another one. Which I
Okay.
might do that anyway. If it's a popular series, I would probably get 2 copies of it.
Now this book was first published in 1948
Mm,
and they
makes sense.
republished in 2002.
2002, Time to Go. Bye bye
Okay.
book.
Over there. This
Pro-
one, it's in the wild. And
Mhm,
it got a little damage over here. I'm just putting my face over it so you can see it. And the bottom, as well.
mhm.
Because the kids they drop it this young, and some of them are still it's still good shape, but the outside is just damaged.
So if that's one of the favorite books there, I will get
It's
Demco
not a
sells
favorite.
these. Oh, if it's not a favorite, then let it go. Because it's
Okay.
not worth your effort of trying to fix it, but that's an easy fix for that one.
Okay, well the same thing. Okay, what about books that have this plastic on it?
Is it a jacket?
Yes.
Does it need to be on there? Can it come off? Are the labels and identifying information stuck to the plastic, or are they stuck to the actual book?
It is stuck to the plastic, the call number.
Okay. So if it's stuck to the plastic, the
And it's
the
ripped, it's
correct
already off too.
so the correct answer would probably be for you to get rid of it. But what I would do if I was into printing my own, because you can't print your own labels out. There's a thing on the librarian's website where you can print out your own labels. If I was into doing that, and it was a very popular book and I'm out of money and I had time, I would just print out another label, take that plastic off. And I used to keep that plastic cover because you can order the material yourself. So you could just rewrap it if you needed to have it on there. If it doesn't even need to be on there, don't worry about the plastic and just print out the label and put it on there.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Those are all my questions. We're gonna have to definitely talk some more off the recording. If I
Okay.
call you or send you an email. Thank you so much and enjoy your weekend.
Have a good weekend, Miss Ballard.
Thank you, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.